clear with your words, your voice, no mumbling, but also clear with your emotion. If you're kind of just sort of there, it's like, are you confused? Are you angry? Are you upset? That sort of thing. So make it believable all the way to the back this time. So this time I want it louder and I want it more. So, Meadow, you're up first.
That's what.
I am going to be standing about where the recording is. If I can hear you clearly, I will back up. If I can continue to hear you clearly, I will back up. What your goal is that I get all the way to the back row and I can still understand everything you're saying.
What have heels on in the movie? In the thing?
I don't know. You can decide. Go.
Do you know who that young woman is? It's Fanny Crosby. She's blind. I'm sure you can agree that the blind cannot be educated. She's probably giving some trite little verse. And nonsense. They're being kind. They shall exit the building talking about how tedious it was listening to this institute show piece and how.
Good. Okay. Start over again. Louder. And she probably didn't cross her arms, just so you know. She's Victorian.
Do you know who that young woman is? It's Fanny Crosby. She's blind.
Louder.
I'm sure you can agree that the blind
Yes.
cannot be educated. She's probably giving some trite little verse. And
Good. Okay. Thank you. Next. Madison. And Will, wait in the wings. I guess Andrew, you can too. Will and Andrew, you can go together. That'd be fine. All right. And I'll start here. Go.
my husband went to find the doctor. Who are you? Well, please help her. She's burning up.
So
Are
louder.
you putting that on her eyes? Oh,
Good. Thank you. Almost. Welcome.
thank you.
You've got your 3 lines ready. You can head up. All right. Remember, projection loud.
Fog is so thick.
That's not fog. It's gun smoke. Get out!
Don't worry, no one's gonna shoot a drummer boy. I'm only 12.
Pow!
Kid! Medic! I didn't think we'd make it this time.
Excellent. Good.
I'm not very loud.
All right. Molly, you can go wait in the wings. You can go wait in the wings. Oh. Okay. All right. See?
God has given me this tune, but hasn't given me any words to fit it.
Louder.
Do you think God has given you any words for this tune? She's writing a song in her head.
Okay, try the beginning line again. It was great emoting, but I need more volume.
Fanny, God has given me a tune, but hasn't given me any words to fit it.
Imagine Fanny's half deaf, not fun. Hey, Fanny! One more time.
Fanny, God has given me a tune, but hasn't given any words to fit it.
Good. Yes. Good. All right, Kristen.
No, I didn't know. Not everyone's writing a research paper, you know. Wait a minute. You mean Fanny and Ira knew each other? Why didn't you tell us about that when they were kids? When you were telling us about Fanny as a kid?
Go louder.
Hey, you guys. You know,
the louder you need to be. Make sure it's clear. Good. Molly? How about it?
Wait, why does everybody seem to be writing a research paper here? Mom!
Guess I'll tell her about Moody and thank you later, but for my oral presentation. Well, I wasn't about to dress up like D.L. Moody. That's it. Well, give me the D.L. Moody line one bigger. Louder. Well, I wasn't about to dress up like D.L. Moody. Okay, good. All right, Rebecca, you're up. And Naomi, you can wait in the wings. Ready to go. At this point, we're just trying to make sure your 3 to 5 lines are projected and clear.
And she also fell in love. A blind man came to the institute, and he and Fanny got married. Oh no!
Okay, give it to me one more time, louder.
And she also fell in love. A blind man came to the institute, and he and Fanny got married.
Lovely. Great. Naomi?
Hey, what you doing? I'm a princess today. They're princesses too. Well, we didn't have a dress for her, so we used a curtain from my house.
Okay, give me that line one more time, a little louder.
Hey, what you doing? I'm a princess today. They're princesses too. Well, we didn't have a curtain. We didn't have a dress from my house, so we didn't have a dress for her, so we used a curtain from my house.
All right, great. Thank you. Good job, everybody. Okay. Now, you are going to come by. You are going to grab one of these papers. You are going to grab a pen. And I want you to find a spot somewhere in the audience in random places to give the impression that the audience is full. Because I want you to hear what it sounds like when somebody projects all the way back. So you can sit here, you can sit here, you can sit here. It's your choice. Grab a paper, grab a pen, go. Paper pen. The paper that has the little stage on it.
What do I do? Oh, I'm sorry.
You just sit somewhere. And I do what?
What are we supposed
All
to
right,
be doing?
spot. We're going to start talking about stage turns. Can you hear me all the way to the back? Okay, this is what it sounds like when you're using your diaphragm. Now from up here, I'm yelling. When you are up here acting, now what I look like is I look like I'm just talking. I don't look like I'm yelling. When you're up here acting, it's going to look like you're just acting, but if you use your diaphragm well, you can project all the way to the back. One thing I want you to work on this week, when you're practicing your part for the play, you can work on it looking in the mirror, making sure your face is believable, but I also want you to step way back, especially if you have a sibling that you can work with, and get farther and farther back and see how far back you can get and they can still understand what you're saying. That's important. If they can't understand you, all they've got is your nonverbals, and maybe they get the idea that something interesting is happening, but they don't know what it is because they can't hear you. And also, even though you're speaking loudly, you still have to have dynamics to your voice. So if you are yelling in the play, you need to look like you're yelling. So right now I'm kind of yelling, but I'm using my diaphragm, or at least trying to, so that I don't run out of air and I don't start getting hoarse and I lose my voice halfway through. But if I need to get to the point where I'm yelling, oh my goodness, what are we gonna do? Then I get louder. And if it's a whisper, stage whisper, a real whisper does not work. So you need a stage whisper. And a stage whisper is loud enough that the people in the back can hear it. What are we gonna do? To do that, you put breath with your voice. So think of whispering. So give me a whisper of, oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, now give me a, oh no. Oh no. Oh use them all in the play, but you may use them later on if you ever go do an audition somewhere else, which is what we're going to do next week. You can use your pen to draw things like this is stage left, here's this little stick guy on stage left, stage right, or to write definitions so that you have these for your notes and you have them for later. All right, so let's get started. Stage right and stage left to center stage. Center stage is the easiest one. It's in the middle. That would be here. Stage right, show me where your right is. That's not it. Stage right is, no, that's your right. But stage right is for the person standing on the stage. So stage right is here. If you ever want to know where stage right is, just imagine you're the one standing up here, and what's your right and what's your left. So stage right is here, so where's stage left? Oh, there, you got it. And center stage is center, then there's front and back, but we won't get into all that. Waiting in the wings, you've already heard that term. It is standing to the side, but ready to go on. It's like the stairs going down or like the wings coming off of an airplane, and you're waiting there. They can't see you because you're not ready yet, but you are ready to go on. It's just about time. An audition. An audition is when you try out for a play. Next week you are going to be doing auditions for a play that does not exist, but it will give you a good opportunity to practice doing a stage audition. A cold read. That's what you're going to be doing next week. A cold read is when the person doing the audition, the director of the play, is going to give you a manuscript that you haven't read before. So you're cold as in this is brand new. And it's your job to try and make it believable and to project and to do all these things at the same time while you're reading a script you've never read and you're making it up as you go along. So it's challenging, but in a good way and kind of fun. Okay, backstage. That was pretty self-explanatory. It's back there. So it's off the stage. Now sometimes if we say backstage, you're going to be out in the hallway because we don't really have a big, huge backstage here because this isn't a theater, this is a church. But most theaters, behind the curtain is this big, huge, where all the props are and the stage things are and where you hang out, where I was hanging out one time before I went out to do this skit for college. Have you ever seen Roger Hammerstein's Cinderella? Why would a fellow want a girl like her? If you haven't seen it, I was in that skit. There's 3,000 people out there. It's time to go on. I'm waiting in the wings backstage, right behind the curtain, and I realize my microphone has dislodged from its spot. It's totally dark. I can't see a thing. I'm like, my mic fell down. My mic fell down. So I go running backstage all the way to the green room, which may or may not be green. The green room is like when we did the play last year, it was that room over there that had the costumes in it. It's where we did the hair. It's where you got all dolled up and where you waited. Like if you weren't going on for the first 30 minutes, is where you hung out. So I run back to the green room where the lights are on, and I get my microphone put back on, and I go running out. Well, by this time, the guy playing the intro has played the intro again because I didn't show up. So I'm running really loud so that he knows I'm coming. Dun, 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 dun. So we get out there, we do the skit. Oh my goodness, it's okay, everything's fine. I go back to the green room, and I tell one of the guys standing there, I was like, my mic fell down. He was like, I know, we heard you. I was like, please tell me. My mic was on the whole time, and 3,000 people heard it, but fortunately it was only on in the green room. Everything was okay. So that's backstage. Blocking. Blocking is not when you play with Legos. Blocking is when you figure out where things are in the scene. So, for example, what they used to do back in the day is they would have this little like miniature scene and have these little things that represented the players or the sets, and they would put you in these little sections, kind of like playing with blocks, to know where everything was supposed to go and then where everything was supposed to move. So these days when we're blocking a scene, it's okay, so-and-so standing here and so-and-so standing here, and when Will gets shot, he needs to stand here, but then he needs to go over here. In movies, they do it with tape on the floor very often. That's why you don't see the floor a lot of times in TV shows and movies, because the person knows they need to come right here, and then they need to say their line. It's fascinating. The cast, that's you. It's the people who are in the play, not when you break your arm. The crew, that is not the cast. The crew are the ones bringing in the set, bringing out the set, doing the hard work, doing the like don't. So it's kind of an awful part, but kind of a great part too, because if the main character gets sick, if they say the theater term of, hey, break a leg, and she actually does, the understudy is ready and may have to go on at a moment's notice. So the main actor's out there in the middle, Phantom of the Opera, she starts singing like a frog, and they have to take her off stage, and the understudy, boom, go. Right in the middle of the play, like, you're ready, go, 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 go. That's what an understudy does. All right, one more term to tell you is typecast. The term typecast is when you have a part, and it's a certain type of character. So Laura Ingalls Wilder, Anne of Green Gables. And after that, you want to get another part in another play, and they're like, oh, you play the sweet girl, you play the really talkative girl, you play the really whatever, and so they give you another part that's just like it, because they're like, that's what you do, and that's what people expect you to do. So you're Superman in this show, so now you have to be the Superman character. You can't be the bad character because you're the Superman character, and everybody wants the Superman character. Like, you can't do that. Being typecast means you always keep getting the same kind of parts because you did a really good job over here, and so they keep giving you the same kind. So what we're going to be doing next week for your homework, you can write this down, I'll also send it by email. Next week you are going to be doing an audition. Now we're going to be pretending that it is an audition for a large scale theater production, say downtown. So you don't know these people, they don't know you. So it's not like, oh, you were in the play before, great, I know you're a good actor. You're going to do a cold read. So you don't even know what you're going to be doing. But what it means is, I want you to be prepared to be up here on this stage, ready to project confidence in your abilities, because often a director can see just from the way you walk up, from the way you stand, from the way you interact with them, whether you're scared out of your mind or whether you're prepared and you're good at this. First time I ever tried out for a play, it was absolutely terrible because I did not know what I was doing, and I was terrified, and I did not get the part. So what's going to happen is each one of you, there's not really much you can do to prepare for the cold read, except I would recommend finding a page on the drama that you're not in, and just getting up and picking a part and trying to act it, see what happens. So I will be acting the other part in the cold read against you, and we will be recording it to see how you're doing. What I want from you is you will be coming up here, and you will stand here, and you will act as if we don't even know each other, and I will ask you questions, the same way a director would ask of a potential actor. You know, kind of like, how old are you? Some, really boring questions, but they tell a lot. Can you project? Can you speak so that I can understand you clearly? Do you stand with confidence, or are you like, And then I might ask you something like, why do you want to be in this play? Be prepared to answer that question with something impressive. Because I'm the best actor in the whole entire world. Something sincere would be nice. And then I will give you your cold read, and you will act. And we'll see how it goes. So, what I'm going to send you home this week to watch is one video on all the things you shouldn't do in an audition, which is some good advice, just in a funny way. But then after that, I'm going to send you the audition video for Megan Follows trying out for Anne of Green Gables. And then there's going to be an interview with her talking about it and what are some of the things that she did before she even started the audition. That is one of the reasons she won over hundreds and hundreds of girls. And then we're going to see a scene from the actual movie. Because one of the things that was interesting about her is that she was 16 when she played the part, and the movie goes through from when she's 12 to 16. So she had to be convincing as a 12-year-old, 4 years younger than herself, and that took really, really good acting. So I'll let you watch those videos. Maybe we'll talk about them a little next week, and I will plan to enjoy your cold read auditions. And just so you know, what these are actually deleted scenes from the play, and if we can get good enough to acting them in certain batches of you, we're going to video them, and we're going to use them as promos for the play on the internet for next such a while. But not next week. Next week we just audition. Okay. See you later. Have a great week.
with an